Welcome back, everyone, to another shorthanded episode of the Digital Marketing Misfits Show. We've only got five tonight. We have 4 last week. I wasn't here. I know. How many did we have last week, guys?
A couple weeks ago.
I don't remember. I think there's only like 3 or 4 of us.
I think there was 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's 4, and then Jason was the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And
Oh,
you
we
and
had
Barb
five.
had you and Barb had catastrophes all night.
It's a true story. It happened.
Yeah,
Well,
without our fearless leader, we just kind of bumbled and stumbled around, and we figured it out.
Best
had-
episode
We did
ever.
have a
most
troll in the
thinking you
comment
guys
section. Some guy named JJ Crypto just kept bashing us in the comment section. I remember that guy.
well, I am back, and you guys survived, and it was a great episode. But we are here tonight without much of a plan. We were talking backstage before. There might be some Andrew Tate slander. We don't know. So drop a comment. Let us know where you're from. We've got hopefully our little eyeball up here somewhere says the right number of people or wherever. But
I've never noticed that before.
you never noticed this? Yeah, it tells us how many people we got going on live. Spectacular. I like stare at it the whole show. I'm
Huh.
like, oh, nobody's
Yeah.
watching, so we can say what we
Yeah.
want.
Definitely, whoever is watching, the lone soldier, go ahead and drop a comment.
Yeah, let us know who you are. Let it be known. We're just gonna wing it tonight, guys. I mean, we got some viral marketing stuff. This is a marketing show. Jamar and I and Jason and Reagan, right? Actually, we're working on a new business model called SaaS. You may have seen us since the last time. It is on fire.
Yes.
So we should definitely do a segment on that tonight. And there's some good Alex Hormozy content I've seen this week we can talk about.
You know, you mentioned earlier about Andrew Tate. Hormozy's blowing up. He's on there just as much, don't you think?
Oh yeah. Except
Yeah.
one of them's actually not a con man.
Yeah.
Right.
Valid.
Well,
point.
I'll come out and say it. I don't care if he hears it.
Yeah.
I'm on the Andrew Tate troll side of social media, so like it's nothing serious, and like thank God, because I can't imagine what it actually feels like. But I'm on like Hermosi good side / troll Tate good side, so
Nice.
it's fairly entertaining.
My TikTok algorithm thinks I am an insecure 19-year-old boy who just wants to make money, and all I get is Andrew Tate Hustler University. This is how you make money.
Is anybody else getting the sororities doing the dance thing?
No,
Alabama-
I am not on Bama Rush TikTok.
Holy crap! Like every other video, I'm like, what? I don't even know how I got there. I
don't know.
downloaded whatever virus Regan did to wipe out her RAM space. I don't know.
I mean, TikTok does show you what you are interested
Lies.
in seeing. So
That's not true. That's not true.
It's also regional too, so you're down south. You're gonna get more Bama Rush.
I haven't seen not one Bama anything.
Oh my god, really?
Well, doesn't Bama and Georgia hate each other?
They
Isn't there
are.
like a rivalry
Um,
there in the SEC?
And they're all
I mean,
cousins.
kinda. It's like that. It's like the big brother little brother rivalry. You know what I mean?
Got it. But I mean, I might as well talk about freaking TikTok and Andrew Tate viral marketing. So as much as we hate it, you can't hate on the tactic of bringing people, like basically feeding people content. And I know we have talked about it here being like low hanging. Well, I think it was Thad. It was you talking about the low hanging fruit, but then like this is picking up the rotten stuff that already fell off the tree.
True story.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you want-
I was going to say what he's doing is he's leveraged his persona, because most people, if they remember him from more than 2 years ago, he's always been Cobra Tate. That's always been like his moniker on YouTube. And I remember seeing his content 3 years ago under the moniker Cobra Tate. But what he's doing is genius marketing, because he has always been polarizing. And what crushes it on social media today?
Yeah,
It's polarizing content. Because what does polarizing content do to the comment section? It blows the comment section up. It makes people share it like crazy. So he can be himself and literally get 108,000 people from Hustlers University to push his content
Yeah.
out by creating additional profiles, thousands by the thousands, to which now if you go to Google, I don't know if you guys have done this, but if you go to Google Trends, he's more searched than like famous sports figures. He's more searched than like, he's literally like pegged out in terms of like, people are going to the internet and they're searching to find out who he is. So, and he's making a lot of money doing it too.
And all his fanboys are seeing like the algorithm, they see him all the time. They're like, yeah, he's killing it, because they're pushing it out. And so they're all happy about it. Okay. That makes sense.
That's true.
I can't do it.
But will it last?
That's
How
the
many
question.
minutes into 15 minutes are we?
Sure.
I told you guys, he's been around for years. It's just now that he's done this big push. So like, we could be at minute 4 out of 15.
I hope not.
I can agree with that, because he came on the scene with the I'm going to say the most outlandish stuff. I'm going to piss off like every sex and orientation, gender, every misogynistic thing you could possibly throw out there. The man's throwing out there. I mean, and it goes back. This is nothing new. Howard Stern did it before the internet was a thing.
Shock radio
value, gets eyeballs. Whether you love him or you hate him, you're gonna be like, oh, what's he gonna say? What kind of ridiculous thing is he gonna say now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Rogan is kind of carrying the torch from the podcast side. Like, brings on people that have very controversial opinions, very controversial personalities. So like, it's nothing new. I actually did a little rabbit hole. I got stuck in like a tiny little rabbit hole of Andrew Tate, and it went all the way back to where he first came on the scene of some like dating show that he was like a reject on some reality
it was like Big
TV
Brother
dating
UK.
show. Yeah, it was like Big Brother or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but I was like, huh. And it's like, imagine, it's just crazy to see that kind of like what he's done since then, from like a very, kind of flop kickboxer career to now he's just this hustler, and he's got all the answers, like Jordan Belfort of internet marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, it is that the model works, and I hate that it works.
Yeah,
give people
it's undeniable, right? It's literally like you can see it happening in real time right now in terms of the amount of visibility, the amount of eyeballs that he has on his brand, and he's never off brand. Like, he literally, if you go back 5 years to on his Cobra Tate channel, he literally is the same person then as he is now.
Cobra
Nothing has
Tate.
changed.
I just want Jamar to say Cobra Tate like 20 more times today.
Oh, I will.
Cobra Tate.
You know what? Well, it's because I remember him from when his channel was like 30,000 subscribers on YouTube 3-4 years ago. Somehow at some point they served me his channel. I have no idea how, right? The YouTube algorithm works in mysterious ways. And I'm like, who is this bald-headed guy with tattoos sitting in like this mansion, smoking cigars, and like half-naked girls walking around him? I'm like, what the heck is going on here?
I mean, you could have just described Dan Bilzerian too.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo.
Another similar persona.
Exactly. But also has name recognition. People know when they hear Dan Bilzerian, they think of extravagant cars, girls, big houses, boats, right? Money. They think about all of those things. So
I think of Dan running up to the sheriff in Las Vegas saying, I'm a deputy sheriff, during the shooting in Las Vegas.
Oh my God. I need your
And the guy's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm deputized.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
What a jackass.
But like I said, I mean, it is literally, it's content. It's viral, polarizing content though too. That's just either you become a ride or die, or you're just like, F this guy and you can't stop talking about him.
So his whole thing, right, is like the whole Hustlers University, right? So if you look at what he's trying to do though, like if you take a couple steps back and you look at like he has a massive, he had a massive following before. He's literally like 10x'd his following in the last couple of months, right? With all of his content being pushed and the Hustlers University.
Right.
So what he's done is, in my opinion, is super smart, because he brought in a bunch of people to be specialized in different kind of hustles. And really the one hustle that apparently that they push people towards is to being an affiliate for Hustler University. Go figure.
Take a course, promote a course.
And what that's done is apparently they're up over 110,000 subscribers at $50 per month.
Yep.
And
Is that verified?
Yes, it is. It's verified because all of the people are in his Discord, and to get into the Discord, Hustlers University, you have to be a paying member.
Okay, so there's 100,000 people in the Discord.
He's earning somewhere around like 5 to 5.5 million per month in recurring income.
Generic advice,
and he has higher course levels too that you can pay more money to get into.
High ticket. Yep, he's got some high ticket. Yes, the War Room, and apparently, if I don't know if you guys heard this, if you miss a payment, like if you don't make a payment, they put you on like a bad boy, like a banned list where you're not able to pay and come back in.
Oh,
so that's the penalty. The penalty is if you do not pay, you're out. Like you cannot come back in, and you can't promote it. So
interesting.
I think the big takeaway from that is everyone wants to just focus on like all these big dollar signs, thousands, $5,000, $10,000 deals, which are super great. But like dude's making 5 million recurring every single month on something that's $50, an impulse buy for 99% of people. They're like, oh, I'll try it out.
Volume, baby.
And they have access. They have access to all those different trainings, not done by Cobra Tate, but it's done by it's done by like 7 different quote unquote industry leaders, right? People he just brought in, somebody to teach stock trading, somebody to teach Amazon FBA, somebody to teach us. And apparently they're not even like super in-depth courses. They're just kind of like introductory courses. So.
And I would venture to guess there's probably a ton, albeit probably useless information. So there's no way to get through it all in a month. So you pay your $50 and you're trying to get where's the nuggets? And then another month goes by and you're leading down that path. Oh, it's going to be down this other one. It actually is. It's pretty damn brilliant.
And I'm sure they hammer the whole, if you leave, you're out, you're never coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's step 1. Apparently when you get in, it's like start here is become an affiliate for Hustlers University.
Oh my God. Yeah. So all right, you bought in, now turn around and promote this to your friends while you go through it.
Yep. And we'll give you all of Cobra Tate's content. So you can just go out there and create a profile and just literally you can just, create your own, spin-off of
Faceless faceless
fan account. And all you do is have thousands of videos that you can just take and upload at will. You can upload 30 videos per day if you want.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make my plug here and say, if you are doing this, guess what? You're building his brand and not your own.
That's right.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That is 100% what.
That goes for every affiliate. That goes for any industry. If you aren't building something of your own or separating yourself with your own offer of sorts, you're building somebody else's brand.
Exactly.
And if and when this gets shut down, I mean, you're back at square one. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jamar. What were you say?
No, I was going to say that basically it's like you said, it's an impulse buy. And these kids aren't trying to do any of these like hustles, especially affiliate marketing. A lot of them are chasing the money. So they don't even care about building a personal brand. They're just like, if I could promote this to, because I think it's 50% commissions. If I can promote this to, and I can get 100 people to sign up with my link and they stay month after month after month with the monthly recurring, and then they're kind of staring at the holy crap, I can make $2,500 a month, $5,000 a month recurring as an affiliate. They're just chasing the money. So they're going to post as much freaking content as possible to keep that hamster wheel going to continually get people in so they can build their monthly recurring revenue up.
And the customer base saying, oh, did you hear what he said in the Discord? No, I'm not in the Discord. Oh, the frat bros or whoever. I don't want to disparage anybody, but whoever's in there, the person on the outside. Wait, what? Yeah. God. Yeah.
It reminds me of like the what was that 2020 like shit coin crypto like bubble that was happening. Like everyone's jumping on like the next meme coin to
Oh,
try to make the
AMC?
quickest buck. And that's exactly what it sounds like as we just kind of talk through this whole scenario. Is that everyone's just trying to get that, find that winning lottery ticket on the ground, crumbled up, covered in Mountain Dew that someone just dropped on the way out of the freaking gas station. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I imagined. Someone scouring the ground, trying to pick up some coins to, trying to make something happen. Like, oh, $50 and I can make $2,500. Cool. Sign me up, bro.
Exactly. I mean, it's, but again, though, all of these things, they always have cycles. And the only reason why this works now is because short form interest video, there's a lot of demand and there's not a whole lot of creators.
Right.
That's why people get hundreds of thousands of views. When the market forces equalize, this will not work. And all the people who, it's just, you're going to start at zero again. I mean, that is, again, you're building the skill, build the skill of marketing, build the skill of affiliate marketing, because there are better ways to make monthly recurring income.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then just imagine if you're building your own content and your own brand, you're also becoming the content creator, the producer, the video editor. You're encompassing all of these high income skills. It's not just as simple as affiliate marketing. Like, stop trapping yourself in such a small thought space.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to make. I mean, one client, if you get good at video editing, getting one client, like Adrian pays his editor $5,000 a month. Like, that's one client. He's like, I'm only one client of his. He's got like 5 or 10 clients.
Yep.
So like, that's, if you're a good video editor, people will pay you a lot of money to edit videos.
Have you guys ever seen that Mr. What's his name? Mr. Money from Shark Tank? What's that guy's name?
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary. So he had a short form video where he was like, if I were 18 years old or whatever, and he's like, what would I do? He's like, short form content, being able to take and chop up a video into 15 seconds to be able to tell a story. He's like, that is in such high demand. He's like, it's worth whatever. And Kevin O'Leary is like, dude, I'll pay somebody $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month to chop up my content and put it out there, because that's the value of it.
He's one of those old guys that understands, because he's got that mind that realizes this wasn't around when he was hustling, making his way. But now, if you don't get the opportunity, I mean, if you don't understand this is how it is done now and going to be done in the future, you're just an idiot if you can't make it. And I don't mean that like you're stupid, but I'm talking from my perspective with old people who are like, you gotta go to work all the time and do all this. This is work, Yeah. It's not like people
put a suit on and go knock on doors.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It's as simple too as just getting really, really good at one thing. So CapCut, I don't know if you guys know, CapCut has like a desktop app now where you can take it just launched. So imagine you're 16 years old, right? And you download this CapCut app and you start doing this for free, right? You reach out to people, you reach out to content creators, and you're like, hey, I am trying to grow my video editing business. I'm 16 years old, but I'll do it for free, and if you really like the quality that I put out, then, eventually maybe we can talk about you paying me something, whatever for it. And you could just focus at 16 years old for 3 to 6 months and become like a wizard with CapCut, which is already a fairly easy software to learn how to use. So after that 6 months, you can then turn around and turn into a video editing agency where you just go and reach out every single day and say, hey, look at, this person. I do the video editing for this person and this person. If you like this, then, maybe we can talk about, charging $1,000 per month, and you can send me all of your videos and I'll give you a quick 24 to 48 hour turnaround time on all these, on the short form content. And that's literally, you could turn that into a 6-figure business.
Yeah.
Within less than a year, you could turn that into a 6-figure business at 16 years old.
Ooh, I got to say something about that too, though. Everyone's yelling about the 6-figure income and stuff. It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, Gary said this in one of his videos. At that age, 40,000, 20,000. I mean, could you imagine making anywhere near that kind of money doing the jobs you did when you were a teenager? Everyone's going, you can make 6 figures. Shit. it takes you 15 to 20 years in most professions to get there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine starting out making 30 or 40 and then just doubling it and repeating it?
Well, just imagine at 16, you just start creating content about you creating content for these brands for free
Yep.
and reaching out. It all just starts there, right? Like you just have to pile it all on. It's a pile of fucking shit you throw at the wall. There's no lie about that. But at the end of the day, like it's gonna stick if you continue to like go through it. You may, as I coined the phrase, not know what you're doing, but surprisingly enough, you know so much more than you didn't know before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect, Reagan.
And
Perfect.
even then, even if you, we'll keep the 16, 17-year-old example. You're in high school, right? And you build a $50, $60, $70,000, not even six figure, right? Call it 50 to 70 grand. Okay. You could put yourself through college without a loan if you wanted to. And not saying that you need the college to get the job because your business is going to pay your bills.
Right,
but like
right.
if you want to go to college and study art history of the late, late Amazon, Mesoamerican history, because you have a genuine interest in that, you can go to that field and there's no pressure to make money when you come out the other end. You can take those classes in college because you genuinely have an interest.
Or you go to college to network and find people to just invest in you further, or you create content for them and then you help them launch their business further. And suddenly you're just the next big thing. And you've literally just listened to what every one of these big people are saying. And you just put bits and pieces of it together along the way, right? Like you don't have to start with all the pieces put together. You have to learn one piece and then learn the next piece and realize what skills feed into that and how you can monetize it even more.
I wonder if there's going to be vocational type schools that try to pop up to teach you these skills that you can
100%.
learn. Yeah,
absolutely.
Virtually.
I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting for radio, and looking back, I'm like, this is kind of hokey. I mean, not really necessary, but it got you in the door faster to a radio station, and you didn't have to go to college. So now I'm thinking, probably going to have TikTok University.
100% TikTok University. I mean, you laugh, but even then, though, like
I think that's what Rachel Peterson's course is called. So
it is
trademark. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now we got to pay her because we said it.
Well, it might not be. Yeah, it might not be used right now with the current situation. But
true.
That's so bad.
You should all be professors. I would be 100% would be a professor.
Yeah.
Professor. At a university. That would be so much fun. Just because I like teaching new people stuff. I like teaching people who are willing to put in the work, though. I hate trying to put my time and effort into somebody and then they don't do anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So,
but part of it's the joy. Like you really wish it would turn into something. They would take that ball and run with it, and then create their own little ball out of it, and then that just keeps bouncing like a spring down on a staircase. But the reality is, I think that the joy that we have, and I feel like I can speak for everybody in the room, is sharing the stuff that we learn with other people that appreciate it more than anything. I know I enjoy it. But that's half the battle. It's them going out and doing something with it. But that's out of your control at the same time.
That's true. I mean, there was an Alex Hormozy video I watched, and he's like, all the people here who are really successful in business, they don't do it for the money. Like the people who get the 50s, 100s, 28 figures, right? They're like, we just generally find this fascinating and we just love doing it. It's like, we just happen to get paid. I mean, I feel like I genuinely love this stuff. And
I think you kind of have to have that kind of like almost like nerd out, like you just want to like somebody tearing something apart just to put it back together. You know what I mean? That's like what I grew up doing. Like models, like you just want to like to tinker with something until you figure it out, and then move on to the next thing. But I feel like that's majority of people who find real success in entrepreneurship. And I know watching every one of you above me like grow over the times that I've known you, that's exactly what's happened. Like it's this thing, okay, I've got this one figured out. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. And not so much shiny object, but like this almost like burning desire to know how everything works. And then the more and more you level up, the more and more angles you can see, and that all this stuff that you've been building on can just come together and make this like badass, foundation or, structure of yourself.
Oh yeah.
And document everything when you're doing that. Like document, record. If you learn how to do something, make a course on it. Make a video on it. Because I can't tell you how many times I go back and watch my own courses because I'm like, shit, I forgot how to do that, but I knew how to do it 2 years ago. I've done that. I've gone back to my own course, my own tech tutorials, like, shit, I can't remember how to, like, let me just go back. And because I documented it, the process is right there.
Okay, I have a question on that because I'm probably looking at this the wrong way. Looking at the courses, and this is why I don't document. It takes me hours to do something. And I feel like I couldn't properly do a course because I'd be like, oh shit, wait, hang on, click, wait, that's not where you click. Wait, over here. Am I missing the part where you guys edit that together and it does
100%.
take too long? Okay. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. What you're watching is the like finished, all the expletives are cut out, all the clicks are gone, all the gone into the wrong windows. That's all cut out. Like, you're watching all of that get cut out.
Okay.
Scotty, I'll share a video with you that I just cut and put together. And there's just this one part you can actually kind of tell, but it was waiting for the settings to update. And it's just like, whatever, I'm going to leave it and then talk through it. And that's just kind of what you do.
Right.
Just don't show your face, and it makes the editing a lot easier within the portion of what you're showing in the tutorials.
Nice. Okay. I think that's my blockage on a lot of stuff that I see or hear talk about, document everything. I'm like, I want to do it in one shot. You notice that with my TikToks. And so I want to do, like, if I'm doing something on Canva, that's it. But then I start clicking around, missing things. And so.
Dude, with YouTube,
go ahead.
I was going to say with YouTube, that's never how it is. Like, I hit record and I just go all the way through whatever I have kind of scripted, whatever I have bullet point items, whatever. And then I just edit everything in post-production and I just cut huge portions of it out, me looking down, reading it, notes, this, that, and the other.
Oh.
But if I leave it recording, then I'll capture everything that I'm doing from start to end.
Yep.
And if you start and stop and start and stop and start and stop, you're really just ruining the flow of content creation of
Right.
just kind of talking into the camera and doing step-by-step stuff. So I mean, for me, that wasn't how I started on YouTube. I was a complete idiot and I was completely lost on YouTube for the first 6 to 12 months. But now that I'm 3 years in, I create content faster. I edit faster. Like,
True.
everything is faster. And my actual product of how I create, like, the end result is like 100 times better than it was 2 or 3 years ago, because I've refined my process down to knowing exactly what I need to get done.
Yeah. You were saying you just recorded a bunch today too, right? Sorry, Reagan.
I filmed 4 or 5 videos today.
Wow.
5 videos today, some of them as long as 20 and 30 minutes long. But again, that's just part of that creative process. It's part of that having your notes, hitting record, and just go. Just look into the camera and just start talking. And I know, Dom, you talk about this all the time. You had like the deer in the headlights just a couple of years ago when you started.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now it's so easy. And I can't like overstate. I tell people this all the time. It's so easy to create content or to do anything if you're just doing it every single day.
Yeah.
Just great.
Every single day. Yeah. Once you put the reps in, man, does everything become easier.
Yeah. And when you're recording, I want to go back to Lee's comment here about breaking away from, day-to-day, stop and record something you just learned. I mean, you're not wasting film. Like, it's all digital.
Well, there's also the side of things too. Like, when you think about teaching something back, I don't necessarily think that you always record the first time you learn something, but after you've learned it once, record the second time. There is something to be said about the learn, do, teach method, right? Yeah. Because at the teaching portion, you're starting to build the habit. You've done it once. Now let's teach it back.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, that's spot on. And that's what I'm saying. That's kind of, I guess, what I wanted to get at when you just record everything. Once you figure it out, I got it. And like Reagan, you said, go back and just do it a second time. That's the way to go. And again, just the act of doing it, it's just going to get easier. Like, video content creation is, pardon my French, it's a bitch to learn. It sucks. It is the hardest skill you can do. There are just so many dimensions. Not even just getting the lighting right, but even just literally hearing the sound of your own voice on playback was so hard for me the first couple times I recorded video. Like
Yeah.
I even talk about this in the Brand Bueller method. I go, hey, look, I was the one, like if I was like caught on a candid, I would leave the room because I didn't want to watch myself back on video.
Dude, when I was doing radio, I would, we'd be doing like we're talking right now. I'd hit the board, I'd be on air, and I'd be like, okay, now everybody, thanks for coming to the show. I went into some weird radio like nonsense voice. I can't even explain it. I have old tapes somewhere, and it's like I don't even know. My brain would not just do this normal stuff. It was the weirdest thing.
Do you guys feel awkward creating content in public?
Yes.
Not as much
God,
anymore.
yes. Dude,
I don't anymore.
Like walking around a grocery store, like
Yeah.
random parking
Just
lot.
literally pick up
I
a phone
actually had this
wherever
conversation
you're
last
at.
night. This is one thing that is the next step of my comfort zone that I have to step outside of, because I'm
I like my
in the
little
car in
windowless
the parking
room.
lot, people walking around, no problem. Get out of that car and walk around doing content.
But there's so many more people doing it now. It almost doesn't look odd anymore.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's
Yeah.
odd.
Dude.
My kids weren't at school for their first day. I had to go through as a me with no kids filming my kids' classroom. That's when I felt weird. But doing a TikTok, I probably wouldn't have felt weird. I just felt weird doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it has something to do with like I don't give a flying F anymore, right? Like I don't give a shit.
Everything mature.
I was going to say, I don't give a fuck about what anybody else is thinking about what I'm doing. I need to create content right now because what's in my head needs to get captured. Because I literally have that more and more lately where I'm like out and about and doing stuff and I have something or I see something and it relates to marketing or it relates to something. And I'm like, man, if I don't create this piece of content, it's not getting created.
Nice.
And then, and at first I used to be like, man, I don't want people to see me, talking into my phone and doing all kinds. Now I don't even care.
Still there.
Because what is the worst that can happen if somebody watches you do that? Seriously, what is the worst that can happen?
Right. Exactly.
Does somebody else's opinion of what you're doing affect your life right at that moment? It doesn't. It doesn't at all. So for me, I didn't start out 3 years ago. I would have never picked up a phone and done that.
Right.
Or I would have never. Today I'm like literally creating content and being in front of the camera has literally changed me as a person to where I don't give two shits about what other people think about me because I'm going to do me and it's going to benefit me. It's going to benefit my brand. It's going to help my viewers out or whatever. So why should I care what, some lady thinks at the grocery store as I'm sitting there talking about some product on the shelf and why it's there and the marketing and the color and the branding and stuff like that.
So cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
love that.
Cool. I'm still in the like if I was walking the other day and I was like, oh, it's like this content needs to get made or it's not going to get made. But I haven't crossed that. Like, I don't care. I'm going to talk into my phone. I just took a video of myself walking like casually, like some people wouldn't know. And I put like the words on TikTok that I wanted to say over that little video. So now that's in my drafts. When I get back to my little like windowless room to freaking make content in, now I'm going to reshoot that video. And it's crippling. Like, you guys remember all the like every city Adrian and I visit, we're like, do that whole gotta get clicks thing on the street. Those are so uncomfortable for me. I get made fun of so hard behind the scenes. He's like, dude, you have 100,000 followers. Why? I'm like, dude, I don't like filming in public.
I film in my basement. I film in my basement with nobody watching me.
Got this safe space,
Safe space.
That's
It's
awesome.
me and the best
I mean,
thing.
I get it, and I feel that what Jamar said, that finding that like kind of fuck it level and basically showing up and just doing like you got to put it out there. It's just got to be. I totally get that, and I say that shit all the time. Be unapologetically you, like just get it out there. But again, I'm with Dom. Like that's that next level of the me stepping completely out of that comfort shell, and just being like, you know what, fuck you, Karen. I'm out here shooting TikTok. You know what I mean?
Do you
Not
have
gonna lie,
100,000 followers?
There's barely anybody at the beach during the week when I'm down there, so I don't have to worry about it. It's not like I'm down there on the weekend, Labor Day weekend with throngs of people.
Scotty, I cannot wait until you end up on the influencers in the wild page. I cannot wait.
What is
Because I
his
think that
name?
guy's in Tampa too.
Nice.
Look at this
I'm
dude
like,
over
I
here on
know
this
that
pier.
Nice. I hope I end up there as well.
I know it'd be spectacular. But we dead air time. Quick,
Oh.
somebody say something. No, I mean, look,
Cobra Tate.
creating content in Cobra Tate. I mean, somebody, again, making content in public. It's just something. It's like getting in front of the camera for the first time. It's something.
Yeah.
Nobody can coach you through that. It just has to come from within.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like there's no amount of like tips or tricks or pointer or mindset tapes and listen to minds. Like, no, just freaking do it.
You literally just got to have that moment of where it's like, you know what, fuck it,
Yeah.
post and just
Yeah.
disconnect from whatever happens at that
Yeah.
point.
Disconnect
you
from
know what
your
I mean?
ego,
That's,
realizing that
ultimately
nobody's
that's
gonna see
I find myself saying that to myself a lot when I'm like, fuck it, post, phone in the pocket, going about my life. It's out there.
Yeah. And yeah, if I could relate that too. I mean, recently, just a couple months ago, for the longest time, I didn't want to post on my Facebook profile. And the reason is because I have lots of family, I have lots of friends, I have coworkers, I have people that go all the way back to the beginning of, I think I joined Facebook back in like, who knows, 2006 or 7, like very, very early, right? And so I have all of those people have been on there, and they know me as, you know, kind of like the military guy and this, and they've seen photos of my family and my kids and stuff like that. And then here I am, this completely separate side that most people didn't see on Facebook up until just recently. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to start posting on there. I don't care, because if they don't want to watch it, they don't have to watch it. And I even posted in there like, hey, you guys can snooze me, you can unfriend me, like no hard feelings. In fact, it's been since probably 2011 since I talked to you anyways. If you don't want to see my content, then that's fine.
Peace.
And I just don't care anymore, because the opportunities today with Facebook Reels, you know, with organic content and short form content, like, why would you not take advantage? Why would you let something hold you back from growing your own personal brand, right? From growing, literally from allowing you to grow your online presence and business. You're going to let family and friends, you know what, if they think negatively of you for what you're doing and what you're passionate about, then maybe you guys should be communicating anyways. Maybe you shouldn't be friends or family, you know, and what is it? Thanksgiving might be a little awkward the next time you have like a full family, and they're like, ooh, look at you, Mr. You know, content creator. Influencer. How many people did you scam this year? You know, like,
Hey,
I'm
Jamar,
always the first one to bring it up. Like I went on a trip with some friends of mine from high school I hadn't seen in a while, and like the last time we hung out was before I was a content creator. So like I basically the whole thing was like, oh, Dom has an OnlyFans, or Dom is a content creator, internet scammers, and whatever. I don't care. It's what I do.
I had some good friends that like do high level accounting. They were like, you know, real business, and they've always been making fun of me. That one friend, a couple of weekends we had a barbecue. He's like, hey, so you know so and so. I'm like, yeah, he's thinking about quitting his high level position because he's really getting into drop shipping. I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, so I guess what you're doing isn't real. I'm like, whatever. You took that guy to convince you because he's making, you know, $300,000 a year and decide to give up corporate because he just doesn't want to do it anymore. But, you know, I'm just me. Jamar, I had a question. You said that about your personal page. So there's got to be a strategy, right? You don't post the same things you do on your personal page that you do on your group page. You just do it to get traffic to your group page.
Yeah, when you post Facebook Reels, you post it from your personal profile.
Oh, okay.
You know,
just Reels is what you're talking about. Gotcha.
But you can post a reel anywhere you want.
Yeah. Yep.
You can post a reel inside of a group. You can post a reel on a business page.
Yeah, it just won't go as far. I didn't know if you meant like on your personal page you were doing like some long form content like you do in your group or something, you know?
No, but if you obviously, once you start getting traction with Facebook Reels and you start getting, you know, tens of thousands, 100,000 followers, when you post on your personal Facebook page, all of those people can see your stories, can see your reels, they can see your posts. So if you're posting pictures of you and your family at the beach, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those people that are following you, they don't just see your reels, they have access to see your personal posts as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as they press that follow button, they have access to see your reels, your posts, your stories, you know. So I mean,
I underutilize stories so much.
It's incredibly powerful. So now, because stories is at the top. So when they open up their Facebook app, stories is the very first thing that they see that's on a carousel, right? So the power of having 100,000 people, or like what's his name, Josh Smith, who has like 700,000 people now. Every single time he posts a story, every single time he posts a picture of him and his kids at the grocery store, every time he makes a reel, these people are seeing this content over and over and over and over and over again. So think about the power of that for your brand, for you, for leads, for commissions. I mean, literally, that's why Facebook right now, in terms of the marketing side of things, it's, in my opinion, it's even far more superior. It's far more powerful than TikTok, just for the simple fact of the number of people on there, and then the way that you can access them. Right? Stories is right there. You got the reels, you got your personal page, right? So then people can go to your personal page and they can go and look at your photos if you make it public, and they can kind of see what your life is like, right? So maybe you go on a vacation, you're posting vacation pictures. Guess what? That person who's thinking about digital marketing or living a certain laptop lifestyle, they're like, wow, this person's going on vacations and they got nice this and they go and doing this. And then to them, they start thinking, okay, this person's probably pretty legit. When they say that, digital marketing changed their life and they're promoting this product, then maybe I should check that product out because I want to live their lifestyle. Gotcha. So,
and I think what a lot of people kind of ignore about Facebook is that you don't have that kind of geographical cap like you do with TikTok. Like certain countries are going to get shown to just certain countries. You know what I mean? Like you go to your analytics and it's United States is usually number one, and everyone outside of the United States is trying to get that United States traffic. Whereas Facebook is worldwide. Anybody and their mother in any country can start a Facebook account. So yeah, your reach could potentially, especially the way they're blowing up reels, could be far exceed that of TikTok. Yeah.
I think that the when we think about all of this, right, and I kind of want to like bring it back to this point of not being afraid to create content because you're doing your thing over here in the entrepreneur world. Everybody listening here is doing some type of content creation, probably, right? Like that's kind of the whole gist of every story that we tell on this podcast. I think what you also need to realize in this day and age is it's almost not normal to be creating some kind of content. It's almost not normal for someone not to have some kind of side gig, right? That's the economy in the way that it is. So let's normalize talking about those and like share those stories so everybody can be more comfortable in front of the camera. Like, I've shared my side gig with people at my day job, and it's opened up so many other avenues of conversations and a further network of things that I couldn't have ever imagined beyond where I'm at today. And those two stories are so far different and so far separated, right? So that's just kind of where we need to normalize the behavior of just create the story about your life. Who cares?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I was gonna do a little stat dump on you guys. So there's currently 7.7 billion people on the planet today. So obviously there's some have limited access to the internet and smartphones and computers and stuff like that, even today in 2022. But there's currently 3 billion profiles or users on Facebook. So almost literally half the world has a Facebook profile.
Yep.
Half
and
the
Facebook
world, 3
doesn't let
billion
you
people.
Make multiple profiles. They're pretty strict about that.
Yeah, you can't make multiple profiles.
Yeah. Like, well, you can, they generally just get shut down.
I didn't have social media for 5 years. And so when I started this whole venture in 2021, I guess is really when I started creating content, I just created a new Facebook profile and it shut down the old one. I had no idea. I didn't care because I didn't have it. I wasn't active on it. It didn't matter to me. But I also just didn't want to intertwine with those people in my life because they just weren't on the level of ideas that I had at that point. And I didn't have any desire to be pulled back. So I just tried to start over new. Now, as far as that question goes, I think that you can change your privacy settings to what certain people can see. Like where your friends can only see your portion, but it depends on what type of marketing you're going to want to be doing with people that you're going to be bringing into your group. If you want to have that setting even there, right? Like if you're going to be doing DM marketing, like they're going to have to be able to be your friend, or you're going to have to live in your message requests. So
Yeah, and I think there is a way when you go to post like something to your own personal Facebook profile wall, like if you go to do a picture and a post of your family or something, correct me if I'm wrong, before you actually post it, you can actually set it to just your friends and family.
Yes.
Like you can choose who actually gets to see that photo, right? So you don't have to let, if you had 125,000 people following you, you don't have to let them see it
Right.
unless you got some copy in there, right? It's kind of a lifestyle, right? And instead, you're curating content specifically to drive traffic by showing kind of a lifestyle that's going on, right? So maybe you have your kid's birthday party. You don't want freaking everybody seeing it. You can just set it to private or set it to just, your friends. And but then you have maybe something that's going on. Somebody takes a photograph of you doing a presentation or doing something, right? Something a little more authority building. Now you could take that and you could create a post out of it, right? And then you could post it. And if you got 100,000 people, you can let 100,000 people see that. So you do have control when you're curating content on Facebook.
Yeah, you just got to be selective with who you let be your friend on that strategy.
Exactly.
So I know I hear all the Facebook organic gurus. Facebook allows 5,000 friends. Well, that's becoming quickly outdated with followers and reels and stories. So only be friends with people you actually want to be friends with. Okay. Right. Randoms that you met in a group for whatever shared interest, stop sending those friend requests. Unfriend every random on your list. Right? Yeah. And that way that Jamar strategy will work.
Yeah, and where you can really control who sees what, when, where is you funnel them into a group, your own personal group. Because then once they're inside your group, then you have complete control over who sees what. So
and you can create buckets of friends off your friends. That's what you were talking about, Jamar. So you go into the settings and then you can just create different groups of people on your personal page. And so when you then go to post, like you said, you've got that drop down and it's like, okay, I want the people who found me because I was doing marketing, click that box and they're the only people that are going to see that post. So I did that on mine and separated everybody in different categories.
Guys,
so give that a try.
937 pending friend requests on Facebook. I don't accept anybody.
Denied.
It's not even worth the clicks because it'll fill up again. Like I don't,
Yeah.
That's what I call purgatory when I leave them there.
No, dude, my purgatory.
And the thing about it is, as soon as they ask to be your friend, now like they automatically become a follower too. So like they're already seeing your content that is accessible to the public. So yeah, you don't even have to. If they do request, and they're still going to see your stuff. So it's not like you're losing that potential traffic of people. You just don't have to have them hopping in your DMs like the moment you hit accept, saying, "Hey, I heard you're on, in a group with like-minded people.
I just want to connect.
I see we're in the same circle of friends. Here, buy my shit."
Oh, you know what? I had a good one today though. Somebody said, "Hey, thanks for liking my comment," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so I responded, "Yeah, sure." Then we became friends because I responded to his message. I was like, and I'm scouring. I'm like, he's not in any groups. And I sat back. I was like, that's pretty smart. That's a pretty smart way to do that.
I think they're still messing with the algorithm on Facebook, but like, if I have engaged or commented on a Facebook reel, even if I'm not following that person, I'll definitely the next few days, if they're continuing to upload content, I'll be seeing all of their content over and over and over again. So it's definitely, obviously, if you like somebody's content and you do, and I mean, whether you follow or you don't follow, if you actually do some type of action where you like it or you comment on it, Facebook's going to take that as like, they like that content. You're going to get served more of that type of content and that person's content probably on an increased volume. So
if it's anything like TikTok's algorithm, which I think it is, it's
close.
It's how much time you spend on that profile.
Yeah.
So if I see someone come across I've tested this and I've replicated this 24 times. So to the point where I know that like I'm reasonably certain this is exactly how this works. Is someone comes across your For You page, right? Or your For You, I don't know what Facebook calls the Reels feed, right? they come across that page. If you click into their profile and see other content, and you watch other videos and watch other videos and watch other videos, and you spend time and you spend time in that profile, not like you don't have to watch them and like them all, but you just spend time there. You'll start seeing that person more and more, even though they don't follow you or you don't follow them. So if you can get people on your profile, you'll get more views, not necessarily followers, but if people obviously they like your stuff, they're going to naturally follow. But that's I don't know what the call to action in my content is, like go swipe left and binge all my videos.
Right.
Like it's not quite that, but that is definitely how it works, how you get all over somebody's page.
Huh.
I have 179 friend requests also.
Nice.
And I'm also the person that went from 1.4 thousand group members to 500. So like, I don't care about the conversations that don't matter.
Right.
And I think once you kind of decide what purpose you're going to serve and like what you care about, like it can shift your content. It shifts the way you think about things. It shifts how you think about the money you're trying to make and why you're doing this whole shindig. Like, just take the money out of it and imagine like just a proof of concept. And if you could get the proof of concept of what you're trying, would that be enough? And if that's enough, just show up and do it and eventually it'll happen.
There you go. Nice. That's you, Dom.
That's me. Oh, it's me. I'm all over.
Yeah,
We're a soundboard.
I spaced out for a second. Whatever.
Where are we at on our queue of selected topics for tonight?
Oh,
I know
we have one.
I know. I think we went off track there for a little while, but that's fine.
So far off track. I mean, we get. Which one do we want to talk about? Alex Hormozy had a good piece of content, which I think goes here for everybody here. He says when you're getting started and you're a beginner, okay. Basically, everybody copies stuff until they come up with their own. And through the process of copying everybody, you come up with your own process. Because you copy 3 or 4 or 5 people, you're not going to copy all of them. Like if you copy one person, yeah, you're going to become a copycat. But if you copy 5, you're never going to mix 5 the same way as anyone else. Especially something as nebulous as content and copy and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I steal stuff all the time. Half the things that I say are not me. It's from a podcast I heard months ago. Does anyone else hear the same? Like
I've never heard it, but it's a super interesting take. And I mean, I'm not sure if I like it or I love it or I hate it. It's one of those, like, I have very mixed feelings, but I see the point of it, because when and it kind of goes back onto this, like, and this is something that popped up. It was about the, the consuming content, stop consuming content and start doing your own. I think that when you look at content from a different point of view as a way of like different takes, different angles, perspectives, and you can absorb that stuff and turn it and twist it and make it into your own, kind of like what he was saying, you're mixing in this melting pot of information and then creating your own take on it. I think at that point in time, you're not copying anything. You've basically just put your spin on it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's definitely interesting.
Let's play the clip because I'm sure I butchered Alex's stuff too. So let's kind of go. Let me see if I mute my mic here real quick, and then we'll go.
And if you look at the greatest artists of all time, you look at Picasso, so the best mantra that I have for learning new stuff is that you replicate before you iterate, copy it before you make it your own. And the way that you make it your own is that you copy 3, 4, 5 different people's stuff. And then when you combine your learnings from those 5, you'll have something that's unique, that's your own. And if you look at the greatest artists of all time, you look at Picasso, you look at Da Vinci, this is how they teach artists. They duplicate what another artist was able to do, their style, and then they mix it and they make it their own. And that's how you learn in business, and that's how you learn in life. So the best mantra that I have for learning.
I actually just made a small training about this today and everything that I'm packaging. And it's kind of the research process that I teach about everything. It's just the same research process as if I'm seeing a piece of viral content. I don't look at things as a consumer anymore. Like I don't scroll content thinking, oh, I'm here for entertainment. Like for frank reasons, I'm either doing it because I need to mindlessly not do something, which ends up being mindful of what's the hook in there, where's the story, where's the call to action, like how can I recreate that and spin it, on its own head. That's just the exact process of there's never been an original thought. I think that's kind of what Hermosil's getting at there, right? Is there's never really been an original thought, but you can't say that when you watch a cooking piece of content that you didn't maybe think of a hook you could use in a branding piece of content. And that's where you may learn from a piece that's not even in your niche and be able to go recreate it in your own piece of a gold mine. And I think that's kind of the point he's getting at, where, you know, I can take from Dom what I learned from SEO, and how I use SEO is not going to be the same way somebody else uses SEO. And I took from the Brambila method how I use redemption traffic, and how I teach that back to get people back into Brambila method is that's me recreating what I already learned,
right,
and putting my spin on it. But I can't take claim for coming up with that process. Somebody else did it before.
Right. Nor
me.
could Adrian, nor could like you said, it keeps going back and back and back. Absolutely right. You're on mute.
Tom has muted himself.
Good point, though.
I'm back. I was going to say, hey, we all make mistakes, whatever. We don't know what we're doing here. I was going to say, even the legendary Russell Brunson, he does not have a lot of. He even says in a podcast, he's like, I am not an innovator. I'm a curator. He's like, I have not had an original thought on this podcast. I just have listened to so many other people, and I report back and bring you guys the best stuff.
Plato, Aristotle, and then everybody after that. I mean, there is no. We all take bits and pieces of it. That's how we progress.
Russell Brunson said a million times, he's like, Dan Kennedy is the God. He's the Godfather. I'm literally iterating everything that I've learned from him. So direct response marketing. Yep. Learned it all from Dan Kennedy.
Yep. With his own twist and his own thought process and his own thinking behind it, like how he absorbed that information and then allowed it to flow back out. I mean, I totally, I mean, it makes complete sense. And I think Reagan made a great point. If you're not reaching outside of your niche for content, like different, like structure, hooks, calls to action, editing tips, stuff like that, then you're definitely doing yourself a discredit. Like I actually, whenever I go to the grocery store, I take time to read tabloid headlines, scroll down the magazine section to look at the way things are written, because those make for great subject lines. Those make for great copywriting pieces. And getting that influence from somebody that's not in your space is going to make you stand out in your space. So,
100%. And we haven't said this yet, but if you're watching on Twitch, go subscribe over on YouTube. Watch all the past replays, because this is on Twitch for 14 days, I think, before it goes away. So we've got what even episode are we on? Is this 7? Is this 8?
Oh, who knows?
I don't count.
I think the more we lose count, the better.
I know. Exactly.
It'll be up to the crowd. You guys go back and watch every episode, count them up for us, and let us know. That'll be the new tactic.
Exactly. What episode are we on now? I think I even started doing it on, like, when I put this up on Libsyn, where it's like episode 6 ? I don't know.
It's good.
Yeah, and if you guys could, if you guys find time, go over to YouTube, go over to our YouTube channel, go and like this video. And if you could drop a comment too, it'll help boost this algorithm. It'll help boost our podcast here, our video cast, and it will help get it pushed out to more people so we can continue organically growing this channel.
Yep. You guys here live are our ride or dies, and we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah.